Straight ahead on CCX News, Osseo school officials respond to allegations that a transgender student was harassed in a school bathroom. Plus, the next local suburb planning to use police body cameras. And a first-of-its-kind bank in Minnesota opens in Golden Valley.
So the need is growing because they're seeing such a benefit from using donor milk.
This one serves an important need for babies. CCX News starts right now. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us right here on CCX News. The Osseo School District is responding to a social media post that gained widespread attention and attracted thousands of reshares and comments.
They're trying to look at what they're doing. Look at them. I'm using the bathroom right now.
A student uploaded this video to social media this week, claiming Osseo Senior High staff barged in on her while she was using the bathroom because she's transgender. The student posted the video asking others to retweet it and make it go viral. Some who retweeted the video posted the school's address for a letter writing campaign and said staff members allegedly in the video should be fired. But other posts questioned whether or not the student set up the whole thing, some wondering why she was ready to record video in the bathroom anyway. The school posted a message from the Osseo Senior High principal to its website, which said the posts significantly misrepresent what actually happened and that no students were barred or banned from using any bathroom at Osseo Senior High. The letter said staff only gets involved in bathroom use in situations such as student safety, illness, or suspected illegal activity. The district is refusing to say more, citing data privacy reasons. In other news, a Brooklyn Park man is sentenced more than 16 years in prison for his role in a fatal shooting. Isaiah Wallace was the accused getaway driver in a fatal shooting in North Minneapolis. He pleaded guilty to aiding an offender. The 40-year-old man who was shot and killed was standing among a group of people when a minivan pulled up and a man in a ski mask began firing shots. In previous court proceedings, Wallace admitted to driving the minivan, but denied knowing the shooter. That turned out not to be true. There could be some relief in sight for commuters on Highway 169 in Brooklyn Park. Brooklyn Park residents got a first look at a future transportation project involving the Highway 169 and 101st Avenue interchange on Thursday night. There are plans for a diamond interchange to improve safety and improve access to Highway 169, which will support extra traffic for a future business development in northern Brooklyn Park. Work could begin as early as next fall, but engineers hope there's not too much disruption to traffic during that process.
We're probably not going to have much delay to general traffic on 169. There might be time periods where we have to shut down a lane or two in one direction or the other, but for the most part it should be fairly seamless and painless.
The project will cost $31 million and will be paid for through federal and state funds. If everything goes according to plan, the construction should begin next fall and be wrapped up by the fall of 2020. Plymouth police officers are one step closer to using body cameras. At a meeting earlier this month, the Plymouth City Council gave the department the green light to start looking for a vendor that they can purchase the equipment from. Money has been allocated for the body cameras to be purchased. The police department says the equipment is something they want to add to their officer gear as a way to be as transparent as possible to the community.
In some circles, an officer's word in and of itself is no longer as credible as maybe it once was thought of. In my circle, it's still very credible, but that being said, the public has greater expectations, and we want to meet those expectations and better to even exceed those expectations.
The police department expects to have the body cameras added to officers by late fall of next year. Another sign of the season, Lime bikes are about to be taken off of Golden Valley streets. Golden Valley is one of 3 Minnesota cities that got to try out the California-based Lime bikes this year. You can rent Lime bikes by using an app on your smartphone. There was no charge to the city, and Golden Valley got to try out 50 bikes in the pilot program. Technology has come a long way in the world of holiday lights. Not only is the quality getting better, costs have come down too.
LED technology has become very popular to use with Christmas lights for a number of different reasons. One being cost, 2 is maintenance and how long they last, 3 is safety, and 4 is just durability. One advantage of LED Christmas lights is that they give off a lot less heat, and so they're safer. So this is a traditional incandescent lamp, and it has a lot of heat coming off of it. 90% of the energy is actually going to heat, whereas an LED, almost all of that energy is being relayed into the lighting, and so it's a much safer technology. Over time, LED will cost a lot less than incandescent, probably 80% less on energy. Another cool technology is actually using Christmas lights that you can control as well. So here's an example of Christmas lights. There's a lot of different applications that you can put on your phone and control your lights from your phone with LED. These are 2 very similar lights, but this is traditional source and this is LED. LEDs are going to be much more durable and last much longer. Most LED technology will come with a 5-year warranty, and so you don't have that constant replacement of lights that you do with incandescent lights. The technology has improved, so the quality of light has improved with LEDs from when it first hit the market a few years ago.
Still ahead, a first-of-its-kind bank opens in Golden Valley, and this one doesn't have anything to do with vaults of cash. Plus, the Champlin Park boys hockey team gets off to a fast start on their way to a win over Forest Lake. But first, a winter storm watch in effect. Anywhere from 1 to 4 inches is possible Saturday and Sunday. A new breast milk bank is opening in Golden Valley, and it's the first of its kind in the state and just the 27th in the country. Reporter Meredith Hackler spoke with the founders about why bringing a bank to Minnesota was so important.
Being a new parent is an exciting time, but some mothers aren't able to produce the amount of breast milk their babies need.
When we first knew that we needed to have a milk bank here is that we had ordered milk from a milk bank and they had run out. And so then our babies were without. And that was where the red flag came up, that we've got to make sure our babies have milk here in Minnesota.
Seeing that need is how the Minnesota Milk Bank for Babies came to be.
Before we began Minnesota Milk Bank for Babies, there were 4 hospitals in Minnesota using donor milk, and now we have close to 30. So the need is growing because they're seeing such a benefit from using donor milk, because the families benefit, the insurance companies benefit, and of course the babies benefit.
While their freezers are empty now, the organization already has donations they're waiting to pasteurize and make available to moms in need.
It gets babies home to their families a lot sooner with fewer complications, and it is pretty much liquid gold, like they said, so it's we'd like that to be the standard for all babies, because every baby deserves the best start.
This practice was once considered controversial, but experts say there's nothing to be concerned about.
But some people don't know the very sophisticated and extensive screening process that goes with our moms. Actually, human milk donation is more closely monitored and has more strict guidelines than blood donation.
The babies are the organization's biggest focus, but they say they wouldn't be able to provide milk without moms willing to donate. In Golden Valley, Meredith Hackler, CCX News.
The Minnesota Milk Bank for Babies still needs $150,000 to become fully operational. They hope to start sending out milk by the first quarter of 2019. And if you'd like to learn more, we have more posted on our website. Still ahead, Cooper High School students put on a play that gets us thinking about the juvenile justice system. But first, we visit CCX fishing pro Terry Tuma at this week's St. Paul Ice Fishing Show. Jay Wilcox is in next.
I'm Jay Wilcox with sports. Champlin Park's boys hockey team won the West Division of the Northwest Suburban Conference last winter. Most of that team is back, and the Rebels played their season opener on the road Thursday night at Forest Lake. The Rebels are shorthanded in the first minute of the game, but they turn it into a scoring opportunity. Derek Roberts' first shot hits a defenseman's skate, but his follow-up try finds the back of the Rangers' net, and it's 1-0 Champlin Park. The Rebels' number 7, Rylan Anderson, forces a turnover and centers to a wide-open Robbie Lawler, who scores, and it's 2-0 less than 5 minutes into the game. Forest Lake loses control of the puck in the neutral zone, and Champlin Park takes advantage. Brett Sullivan's shot trickles off the goalie and in to make it a 3-0 game. Still in the first period, and two Rangers players will collide at the blue line. Roberts is alone with the puck. He makes a nice move on the goalie to score his second shorthanded goal of the period as the Rebels blitz the Rangers early. They lead Coach John Liu's team 4-0 after 1. Second period, the Rebels on the power play. Jack Bergstrom scores on the rebound in front for Champlin Park's final goal of the night. The Rebels win 5-1. They'll face Maple Grove in their conference opener Saturday night. It's a big Saturday of high school basketball as some of the area's and state's top teams are showcased. The Wayzata boys are part of the field at the new Breakdown Big 12 Classic that features 12 of the top teams in Minnesota. It's a good chance to get tested early against Cretin-Durham Hall, the team that beat the Trojans in the state quarterfinals last season.
I mean, it's a lot of fun to get to play against a team that won state last year, even though they're way different. And to be honest, we return a lot, but we're a lot different as well. And it's fun to go against a good coach like Jerry Klein and get to play a good program like Cretin-Durham Hall. Yeah, I think the fans really enjoy getting to see a lot of good teams play in one location, and they don't have to travel all over the place to go watch them. So I know some of our guys are going to want to stick around and watch. And for scouting purposes, it helps us too. We get to stick around and watch a few teams that will play later in the year.
Here's a look at the games involving local teams at the Big 12 Classic. Park Center meets Prior Lake at 2:30. Wayzata and Cretin-Durham Hall play at 4:15. And Hopkins takes on Eastridge at 6. The Lindbergh Center at Hopkins High School is the site for the Girls Breakdown Tip-Off Classic Saturday. 5 games involve local teams on the 2 courts. Maple Grove Chaska is at 12:45. Benilde meets Marshall at 2:15. Hopkins and Eastview tangle in a state title rematch at 6. Park Center plays Prior Lake at 7 o'clock on the East Court, and Cooper, a defending champion as well, takes on Holy Angels at 7:30 on the main court. The Maple Grove Gymnastics team finished second in Section 5AA last winter. Several of the girls on that team are back this season, and the Crimson opened the season at home Thursday against Blaine. Kiara Poling on vault for Maple Grove. She scores a 9.15. Nadia Abbott has a very good night. She scores a 9.3 from both judges on her second vault to lead the Crimson. On floor exercise, Emma Ungard with a solid routine. She scores a 9.05. Sasha Thompson on floor exercise scores a 9.275 for the Crimson. And Abbott's beam routine is excellent. She placed second in the state in this event last season. She earns a 9.4 to win. Maple Grove opens the season by winning the meet over Blaine 140.625 to 119.925. We got our first measurable snow of the season Wednesday. That means ice fishing season can't be far behind. Earlier today, John Jacobson caught up with pro angler Terry Tuma at the annual St. Paul Ice Fishing and Winter Sports Show.
This is the 26th year the show's been going, and it's considered the country's largest ice fishing show. But they cannot add any more exhibitors to this show. In fact, they have a waiting list right now.
Any types of products or new products that people are really excited about?
Yes, there really is, John. One is I just spoke with Vexlar, and they have a glow ring that actually charges your lures that have the correct paint on, so they glow, glowers in other words. And the wheelhouse market is just going bonkers. And what's happening right now, a lot of them have half bats in them or full bats so they can use them year round. So that's one. And they're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I think with the wheelhouses too, I'm hearing a lot of comments about the hydraulic system, raising and lowering them. And then the other is custom rods. That is just literally unbelievable what's happened with custom rods.
There's a lot of exhibitors here, but there are also seminars going on in connection with this show. Now you've got one Saturday at noon talking about walleye fishing.
Yes, that's exactly right. And with the seminar, with all the seminars, we always change every year or update them or just change information. And the walleye one has a lot of new information. So I'd invite all of our viewers to come and listen. And I'll stay here. I'll be at the clam booth, or I'll stay after the seminar till all those questions are answered.
Thanks, Terry. The Ice Fishing and Sports Show continues at the St. Paul River Center through Sunday afternoon. That's all for sports. Shannon, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jay. Up next, the verdict is in after students become the jurors in a new play at Cooper High School. And when it comes to snow, we have a few ideas on what you can do with that. We'll be right back. There's more snow predicted for this weekend, which means we could have enough to build a snowman. Or how about a snow sculpture? New Hope started a snow sculpture contest last year, and they are kicking it off again this year. If you live in New Hope and you want to enter, you just make your snow sculpture, take a picture of it, and email it to the Park and Rec Department by the end of March. So plenty of time to get thinking about that. Cooper High School serves up a heavy theater in the round offering for their winter production this year. Neil Persley has the verdict in today's Weekend Showcase.
What's the matter with you people? Every single one of you know this boy is guilty.
Cooper High School has bitten off a lot with their winter production of The System. It's an adaptation of Reginald Rose's play 12 Angry Men, which was originally televised in 1954. Students rewrote the script to bring the dialogue up to date and added 8 roles of teenage inmates telling their stories of how they became incarcerated.
Integrating the inmates into it and finding places for them to go without making it too confusing and making it hard to understand has been really interesting, but it's actually turned out really well.
The students have done a good job creating those additional roles and weaving them throughout the main storyline.
I think we're sort of trying to show how, what parts of the system failed us as kids. Obviously we make our own choices and we're accountable for that, but there are always causes deeper than that, like your parents, your teachers.
It is a more serious play, very dramatic, a lot of adult themes, especially from the inmates that are in the round.
The main story focuses on a jury deciding the fate of a young man who has just had his trial for the murder of his father. The evidence in the trial pointed to the person's guilt, but one lone juror makes the plea to the other 11 to look at hypothetical circumstances other than the evidence which was presented. Eventually, that juror is successful in sowing the seeds of doubt among the other jurors.
It's about finding humanity in people that the world doesn't see as human anymore.
For Weekend Showcase from Cooper High School, Neil Persley, CCX News.
There are 2 more performances. One is tonight, Friday, the other is Saturday, and both shows start at 7 p.m. And that's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here again on Saturday starting at noon.